Hi, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and today I'm going to be bringing you 4 fall dupes. The first 2 are from Bed Bath & Beyond. So for dupe number 1, we're going to do this little Broom Swag, and they want $20.99 for it. Now mine is a whole lot smaller than theirs. So I just have this little cinnamon broom from the Dollar Tree. And then I have these picks, and that yellow one there with the beads and all came from Hobby Lobby like 10, 15 years ago. I don't know, long time. So that's the last of it, and I'll be using it. And I'm just going to slide it up under the wrap on the little broom. It does have a wire on it, so I'm just putting the wire up underneath the wrap. And then I'm going to bend it down so nobody gets poked. And I have this piece of burlap. I believe this one came from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to make a little bow. And I'm just hot gluing the ends of it down. Then I'm just going to squish it together and tie it with some jute. I'm really getting into decorating for fall. I think last year was the first year that I really decorated, and I'm going all out this year. So basically what I decorate is my entryway. I have a few things on the front porch and then some things in the kitchen, and basically that's it. So I just hot glue my little bow onto my little broom, and now I have these little pine cones. Now these I picked up at my sister-in-law's house last year. So these are just those little tiny pine cones, and I'm pretty sure you can get these at the Dollar Tree. And I put several in the middle of the bow. And now I have these leaves. There are orange ones and red ones. I don't really know where I got these because I've had them for at least a year. It was probably either the Dollar Tree or Hobby Lobby. So these are oak leaves and maple leaves. And I probably get a little carried away putting leaves on this. I probably should have stopped several leaves back than when I finished. Although my husband said he liked this little broom swag. I was surprised. It is cute. Let me know if you like it and if you think I put too many leaves on it. I think I kind of covered up the broom a little too much. When I was editing this video, I kept thinking, this has got to be the last leaf. It's the last leaf. And it just kept going on and on. So I just hot glue the leaves up underneath each other so they overlap. And a couple of the leaves I do hot glue onto that yellow piece that has the beads on it. And then this last leaf I cut up to put at the top. So I make it a whole lot smaller than it was. And I do decide to add one more little pine cone to the center of my bow. I was going to use that other greenery, but decided not to. So it looks like that's it for this one. So do you think it has too many leaves? And here's what it looks like hanging on the wall. It's cute. It's cute. And here it is with the one from Bed Bath & Beyond. Theirs was $20.99 and mine was $1.25 for the broom, and then all the other stuff was leftovers. Now this is the second Bed Bath & Beyond dupe. These are candles anywhere from $23.99 to $31.99. And they are is it birch bark? So I have this piece of cork that I got. It's cork material that I got from Hobby Lobby. It was a remnant. And let me tell you, I got it real cheap. And it was several months ago. And I thought, you know, this would work really good for birch bark. I know it's not the right color, so we're going to have to paint it. And then we have these Dollar Tree candles, the faux candles. I have a taller, skinny one, and then I have a short, fatter one with the little beads on it. So I'm just cutting down my cork material to fit onto my candle. Now I'm going to leave it taller than the candle so that once I get it on the candle, then I can trim it off. And you want the ends of it, once you wrap it around, just to meet up with each other. You don't want them overlapping. So just like that. And you do not want to use hot glue to put this together or Mod Podge, because neither of those work. I tried it. So what I went with, well, I'll show you in a minute. So I took my Waverly chalk paint in plaster, and I put it all over the cork material, and then I wiped it off. Let it dry, and then we're going to add it to the candle. So in order to add it to the candle, you need to use double-sided tape. So you're going to put double-sided tape on each end and on the top. Now you can either do this on your cork material or you can put it on the candle. Either way. So both ends and the top and bottom end is where you want to put your double-sided tape. Now the hardest part of using this double-sided tape is getting the backing off. But other than that, it works perfectly. You can see me struggle with this. There we go. You got it. You go, girl. And then you want to make sure that you have those two ends right up close to each other. And then maybe I don't show it, but then you trim up the top of that because it was longer than the candle itself. I must not have shown that. So this is the second candle, which is wider around and shorter. And it's one of those from the Dollar Tree that has the little beads on it. So you can use either one of these. I'm just showing you the two different ones. And you basically do it the same way. Only this one, I put the double-sided tape on the candle. The other one, I put the double-sided tape on the material. So here I am using the plaster from Waverly to paint the cork material. And I think it does turn out looking like birch wood. And why pay $20 to $30 for a birch wood looking candle when you can make one for what, $5? I'm not sure how much this material cost me, but I got a pretty big piece of it. And they probably have it in other stores. Like I said, I got it as a remnant from Hobby Lobby several months ago. I saw it there and I was like, ooh, I need to get that. Didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I needed to get it. And this is why I needed it. And here I am adding the double-sided tape to the top, the bottom, and the side where the two pieces meet. And like I said, the hardest part about it was getting the backing off of it. But I'm not going to show you, I'm not going to make you watch me struggle with that. It was painful. But I finally got it. I conquered. So there you see it, top, bottom, and side. You can do it, girl. I guess I do make you watch it. Sorry about that. You can do it. I'm rooting for you. I can't believe I left this in there. But the struggle is real. Does anybody else have any problems with double-sided tape like that? This was actually some that I had bought back in my scrapbooking days. So you want to line up your edge to the bottom and the side where you have the tape. And actually, I guess the first candle I cut the material to the size of the candle. the top, the bottom, and the side. This one here is where I left the top longer. And now I'm just cutting around it. And really, that's all there is to it. Once you figure out what type of adhesive to use to get this on the candle. Remember, hot glue does not work and Mod Podge does not work. Use double-sided tape. It's the only thing I found that would work. And there it is. And I think it does look like birch wood. What do you guys think? So, I mean, depending on the price of the material, the candles were $1.25 each. So maybe $5 for this project. Maybe not even that much. So it sure beats the $20 or $30 that Bed Bath & Beyond wants. So here's the ones that I made. And here it is with Bed Bath & Beyond. So $23.99 on sale, up to $31.99 for the larger ones. And now to the first Home Depot dupe. So they have this wagon wheel wreath. It's $27.99. And I have this wagon wheel wreath. And actually mine's a little bit bigger than theirs. I already had sisal in the middle of it because I was going to do another project and then I never finished it. So I have these greenery pieces that I cut in half. And I'm just going to hot glue these on. So I'm putting a piece at the top, a piece towards the bottom. And I'm going to do a couple pieces, one on each side. Just different ferns and greeneries. This was a fern that I'm putting down right now, is one from the Dollar Tree. And actually, I think they all are from the Dollar Tree. Those other green ones, I believe, were in a little package. And then I know this one was in a package of like 4 or 5. So all these ferns were from the Dollar Tree. And some of them I cut off of like a whole piece, a whole fern. Now I'm going to be using this larger greenery that I got from Hobby Lobby when it was 50% off. I mean, months and months ago. I've been using this for like 6 months right now. I just pull pieces of it off here and there. So this piece I cut off. It's a pretty good size. I still have a ton of this left. So if you ever see it, it's a good buy. So I think on 50% off it was like $7.50 or something like that. So I'm just taking it around the bottom and gluing it. There's a piece that was pulled off, so I just popped that back on. And I'm gluing a piece around the top. So it actually goes mostly around the whole wreath where you see that sisal rope. And actually, it was kind of cool having the sisal rope there because I could just glue everything down to it. And I don't think it took away from the project at all, but I was not going to unwrap it. I thought, you know what? I'm just going to use it as is. And that's what I did. Call me lazy. I don't care. Yes, I was lazy. But as you can see, well, as you will be able to see, it turns out just fine. So you can let me know in the comments if you would have left the rope on or if you would have taken the time to take it off. All right, now I have this thicker piece of jute and I'm just going to tie that on the top in a knot for the hanger. And then because it will slip from one, you know, where it is from one side to the other side, like from one spoke to the other spoke, off camera, I do put a dot of hot glue up against it so it doesn't move. And then I got these little pumpkins. They're so cute. From Hobby Lobby just this past week. And they were 50% off. All their fall stuff is 50% off. And I thought it was cute. Now, these balls are little rattan balls, I guess is what you call them. They were a tannish color, but I spray painted them brown. And yeah, that's another story. Like, my spray can wasn't working very well. And these are just some little berries off of other picks that I had. And now I have little tiny brown spots all over my arms. Actually, those little berries, I think, are off a Christmas floral. So here it is. And like I said, I think it turned out pretty good. Let me know if you think I hit the mark. So theirs was $27.99, and I think mine is actually a little bit bigger than theirs. And like I said, I think it turned out pretty good. So now for Home Depot dupe number 2. And this one is my favorite. So it's $35.98. It says thankful and blessed. So I have these acorns, and these, where did I get these? I might have picked these up out in the yard because the neighbor used to have a little pin oak tree. So anyway, they always fall out of the caps, so you want to, if they're not falling out, you need to go ahead and pull them out and then use some hot glue to put them back in. Because if you don't, they're going to fall out when you're done with your piece, and then what are you going to do? So anyway, I go ahead and glue them all back in. Or I might have gotten these at my sister's last year. I don't know. So I just have this around, and it's one of those from the plus section of Dollar Tree. And I'm using some chocolate brown acrylic paint just for the bottom. It kind of looks reddish, but it is a dark brown. And I do put 2 coats on. So there's 1 coat. And after it dries, you do want to wait until it dries and put the 2nd coat on. And I'm trying not to get it up on the side. It doesn't matter too much because we are going to use some Waverly wax on that. So there we go, our antique wax from Waverly. And we're going to do the inside sides, the top rim, the outside sides, and the bottom. So I just put a coat on and just do a little bit at a time, and then I take a paper towel and wipe it off. Now this is not watered down or anything. So this is just straight out of the jar, or the lid. And if you get some on that center part there, just wipe it off with your paper towel like I did. Now, you probably could have used the antique wax in the bottom of it too, but the The picture showed it two different colors, so I thought I would try to do that too. Only their inside bottom looks darker than their outside edges, and mine's kind of the opposite. Not intentional, but that's how it turned out. So again, I do the top rim, I do the outside of the round, and then the bottom. Just brush it on and then wipe it off with a paper towel. Now, the more you leave it on there, the darker it's going to be. And if you want a lighter stain, you can definitely put water in it. Now, I have this Thankful and Blessed that I printed up in my Cricut and cut it out on white vinyl. And this is the vinyl from Hobby Lobby, the Paper Studio. And I do like it. It works pretty good. I don't have too many problems with it. I haven't gotten the whole Cricut vinyl thing down real good. I'm not the best at it, but I do okay. I get my stuff on there. It may take me a while. But there it is. Thankful and Blessed. And now we have this metal ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to put glue on the first two sections right there. And you do want to make sure that your antique wax is totally dry before you try to put this on. Because if you don't, it won't stick. And then be careful because the aluminum does heat up, the metal heats up when you use hot glue. So you don't want to burn your fingers. And I put it on like four little spots at a time. Now, this was the only metal ribbon I could find at the Dollar Tree. And I haven't seen it in there since. I do know that Hobby Lobby has some. So as you can see, my glue is getting strings pretty badly with this, because you're dragging it from one spot to the other spot and there's openings. So it's gonna have glue hairs there. Believe it or not, I did not burn myself. And then you can just take your scissors when you get to the end, and you don't want it to overlap. You want it to be side by side. Then I'm just going to put my last spots of glue on there. Push those down. And that's it for the metal on the outside. And now I have this brown paper wrapped wire from Hobby Lobby. And in the Home Depot one, they used wire, just plain wire, and they used metal leaves. So I didn't have any metal leaves, and they used bells, like 2 clumps of bells. So instead of the bells, I'm using the acorns, and they used maple leaves, metal. I am using the silk oak leaves. I'm using some red ones and some orange ones. And I'm trying to line up my leaves on here so that it doesn't cover up any of my words or letters. So I just take this paper covered wire and I wrap it around the pencil for the loops and the curly cues and all that. And then when I glue it on underneath the leaf. It turns out so cute. It's one of my favorites. Let me know which of these is your favorite. I would love to hear from you. Now this, let's see, is where I put on the acorns. Now these acorns are in groups of 2. So I put 2 groups of 2 here. So I put that first one down there right by the loop. And then I take the next one and I glue it right underneath up against the one I just put on. So it looks like it's a cluster. Now it kind of only looks like one, but it's actually a bigger one and then a teeny tiny acorn. And then I'll alternate my leaves. So I have a red leaf, an orange leaf, and then a red leaf. And then I turn my leaves in a way such as they're not going to cover up, like I said, my words or my letters. So I just wrap the end of the wire around the pencil or the paintbrush. And I just glue it, the end of it, up underneath the leaf. And that's it for the top part, and now we're going to work on the bottom part. So as you can see, I'm trying to figure out which way is the best way to put the leaf on. So once I have that figured out, then I'll glue it down. And then I'll put my little curly cues on. Had to pull my leaf up a little bit because I want the end of my curly cue to go up underneath the leaf. So this piece of covered wire needs a loop in it, and then as you can see I have an orange leaf. So we have a red leaf and now an orange leaf. And then we're going to be putting our acorns on. So I put my 2 acorns on there. I put another 2 acorns on. Excuse me. And then I felt like it needed another acorn, so I broke one of the other ones apart, and we're just going to glue a single acorn on the bottom of where the last 2 went. And now we have one last piece. Now what is this? Oh, this is the hanger. Okay. You just want to figure out where you want to put the hanger on the back. You want to make sure that it's going to hang straight so your words won't be crooked. It's a thicker jute cord, so it was off of another Dollar Tree item that I had kept the hanger on. I just cut those plastic ends off and put knots in the ends of the jute cord, and then I used a bunch of hot glue to glue it down and then go over top of the knots. Here I'm just using my my heat gun to get off the hot glue strings. And there it is, thankful and blessed. Ready to hang on your wall. So I think it turned out pretty good. Here it is, hanging on my wall. There it is from Home Depot, $35.98, and I believe ours was $3, and everything else was what I had on hand. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. I love to have new subscribers. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.